Imani sadly lowered her head. Her uncle and aunt had sold her to a man who treated her like a puppet. Newton went to the bedroom and received a call from his mother. "Hello, my son," she said. "Can you put my daughter-in-law on the phone? I want to hear her voice." Newton handed the phone to Imani. "Hello. How are you, my dear?" his mother asked. "I'm doing well, madam." "Mom, and you?" "I'm doing well, too. When are you going to give me grandchildren, my dear?" Newton's mother asked excitedly. "Soon, madam." "Mom," Imani replied before hanging up. After the call, Newton asked her, "Why did you tell my mother you'd give her grandchildren? I told you I wanted to have children with a village girl like you, but I did it to help you. I just made sure your parents wouldn't suspect anything. Isn't that what you wanted?" she replied. "And is that a reason to say something like that to my mother? Do you think I'm in your league? I don't feel the need to get married yet, let alone have children. When I'm ready, I'll marry a woman who truly suits me, a woman of my social class, and with her, I'll have children. But what about me? I'm a woman too, and I'm not going to waste my time here for nothing," Imani said. Newton responded, "You're not of my social class. Besides, you don't take care of yourself. Your hair is dirty, and your clothes are old and faded. If my hair and clothes bother you that much, I'll find a job myself to earn money and replace them," she retorted. "Here, I've already told you money isn't an issue for me. Take this money, buy new clothes, and take care of your hair." After the conversation, she gathered her things and went to sleep on the couch while Newton slept upstairs. The next day, as soon as Newton left for work, she placed all the money he had given her on the table. "I don't need this money. I don't want his money. I'm not an object. I'll do my best to find a job here. I don't need to tell him since he won't help me. I still have my certificate with me. Maybe that'll be enough to get a job in the city." She left the house and started wandering the city streets. She asked for work at several companies and eventually got hired to sell in an electronics store. That evening, when Newton returned from work, he had forgotten to buy food beforehand. He was so hungry that he went to the kitchen to see if there was anything to eat. By chance, Imani had prepared something. He took the food secretly and began eating with gusto. "Wow, this meal is really delicious. I didn't know this village girl could cook so well. But if I ask her to cook for me, she'll think she's my wife, and I don't want to take that risk." He quickly swallowed a few bites and rushed to his room to sleep before Imani caught him. Then he noticed the money he had given her the previous day was still on the table. He went to Imani's room and asked, "Why did you leave the money I gave you yesterday?" "I don't need it," she replied. "If you don't consider me your wife, I don't need to make myself beautiful for you." "What would be the point?" "I don't consider you my husband either, so you can keep your money." Newton responded, "I'm not giving you this money to please you. You need to look beautiful and presentable in photos so my parents don't suspect anything. They've already commented on your clothes, so you need to change them. In that case, I'll borrow the money to change my clothes, but I'll pay you back later," she said. "Tomorrow, when I get back from work. I don't want to see you in this state," he ordered. "You can sleep in my room if you want, or in the downstairs room. It's up to you." Imani went to sleep on the downstairs couch. The next day, as soon as Newton left for work, Imani went to the shop where she was employed. Every day, she made sure to return home as quickly as possible before Newton arrived. At the end of the day, she stopped by a store and bought new clothes as Newton had requested. That evening, when Newton forgot his keys and knocked on the door, Imani opened it. She had changed her outfit and was wearing a beautiful, form-fitting dress that highlighted her figure. As soon as she opened the door, Newton stared at her dumbly instead of coming in. "It's been 3 minutes, and you're still standing there. If you don't want to come in, I'll close the door." "You look very beautiful tonight," he admired. "Thank you. You can come in now," she replied. Newton entered, still staring at her. "Can you serve me something to eat?" he asked. "I'm really hungry." "Since when do you eat my food? You told me last time you didn't want it, so I didn't cook for you today." "Please make me something to eat, Imani," he asked in a calm and respectful tone. Imani went to the kitchen and cooked something for him. While he ate, he was more focused on Imani than on his food. He looked at her and thought, "She's really beautiful." He tried to focus on something else, but couldn't stop admiring her figure in that form-fitting dress. After finishing his meal, he approached Imani, gently placed his hand on her shoulder, and asked, "Can you sleep in my room tonight, please?" But Imani was upset. "I don't feel like it. I'd rather sleep downstairs as usual. You're my wife, I'm your husband, and you have to do what I ask. Tonight you'll sleep with me in our room." Imani wondered what was happening to him. First, he eats my food, and now he wants me to sleep in his room. "I don't feel like it," she replied. "I'd rather sleep downstairs." "Listen, I'm the man, and I make the decisions." Without further ado, he started moving Imani's things to his room. A husband and wife should sleep in the same room, and that's what we are. From now on, you'll sleep in the same room as me. You can forget the downstairs room. "What's gotten into you tonight?" Imani asked. "Just go turn off the TV in the living room and come sleep next to your husband," he replied. Without asking, he turned off the television and dragged her to his room. They slept together. The next day, after Newton left, Imani went to her new job at the electronics store. While working, Newton wondered what was happening to him. Normally, he had married Imani for the photos, but now he was starting to fall in love with her. "How could I fall in love with a village girl? That wasn't my plan," he repeated to himself. "I need to focus on my work and forget this girl. She's not even of my social status. A respectable man like me shouldn't be interested in an ordinary girl like her." Meanwhile, Imani was also asking herself countless questions. How could he change so quickly? I hope I have nothing to fear with him. With people like him, you can expect anything. That day, Newton was so distracted and unfocused that he decided to go home because all his thoughts kept returning to the young woman. When he arrived, he noticed she wasn't in her room or anywhere in the house. 3 hours passed, and she still hadn't returned. Furious, he began wondering where she could be. He left the house to see if she was nearby. Suddenly, he saw a car approaching in the distance. He went back inside as soon as he saw Imani in the car. When Imani entered, he was already waiting, looking angry. "Where were you, madam?" Seeing Newton's red, furious face, Imani knew she was in trouble. "I went to buy something," she replied, trembling, her body already covered in sweat. "Where is this thing?" Newton asked. "I ate it on the way. It was food." With a disgusted look, he replied, "Not only are you a liar, but you're also a prostitute. What could you be buying to eat for over 3 hours when I'm not home? And who brought you back?" "It was someone who just wanted to help, that's all," she explained. "And I'm not a prostitute." "You are, and you're a cheap one," Newton exclaimed. "You couldn't find anything better to do?" Imani, annoyed, replied, "Yes, I'm a prostitute. What does it matter to you? I'm not married to you. I don't owe you anything. You've already said we're together just for photos. I'm free to do what I want and manage my life as I see fit. I use my body to prostitute, not yours." Newton responded, "It's not just your body anymore. It's mine too. I paid a high dowry for you. You belong to me. I have all the rights over you because you're mine." "Why does that make you angry?" Imani asked. "You've always said you plan to marry a woman who suits you and with whom you'd have children. So let me do what I want too." "Listen, young lady," Newton continued. "From now on, you won't go out to buy anything. If you need to leave this house, it'll be with me. I don't trust you anymore. I'm not a prostitute, and I never will be. I'm a woman with principles and values, so I won't let you treat me like this. You have no right to forbid me from doing anything. Enough talking. I'll try to believe your lies today. Now make me something to eat. From now on, I'll have my breakfast, lunch, and even dinner at home. I'm not eating out anymore." Imani went to the kitchen, annoyed, and cooked for him. As soon as she served the meal, Newton refused to eat alone and asked her to join him, despite her protests. She eventually gave in, knowing it was pointless to argue with a man like him who always thought he was right. They ate together for the first time and slept together in their room. For the entire month, Newton came home every afternoon, but Imani was never there. He didn't reproach her because he wanted to investigate on his own. He decided to dedicate an entire day to following her to find out where she went every day. The next morning, instead of going to work, he waited outside in his car without Imani noticing. When she finished getting ready, she left and took a taxi. Newton followed the taxi and saw her get out in front of a store. He wondered what she could be doing in a store. Imani entered and started selling as usual. Newton realized she was actually working in the store. Relieved, he thought. At least she's not cheating on me. Good thing I didn't confront her. It could have gone badly. He then went home to rest, exhausted from stressing over nothing. Now his mind was at ease. When Imani returned that evening, she saw that Newton was already home. His car was parked in the yard. She knew he'd be furious again, and that this time, she'd have no way to justify herself. She went to the bedroom to quietly drop off her bag, but Newton was already waiting and startled her. "So, where were you this time?" he asked. "Don't tell me you went shopping again because I stayed home all morning, and I didn't see you." "I wasn't feeling well. I had a fever and headaches, so I came back to rest. And all morning, you weren't here. Can you give me a convincing reason why you weren't home since this morning? You have a fever, right?" "Let me give you some medicine first," she replied, ignoring his main question. "No need," Newton exclaimed. "I've already taken medicine and I feel much better now. Don't pretend to ignore my question. Just tell me where you were. If you don't answer, I'll leave this house for good, and you'll never see me again." "Don't do that. I know you won't be happy to hear where I was or what I was doing, but I just want you to understand that I'm not a prostitute. I went to work. I found a job selling in a store. I'm bored every day at home, and I feel useless doing nothing. Why should I stay home doing nothing when I could do something and earn money?" Newton replied, "Why should my wife work as a saleswoman in a shop? You know I'm a respected man, or don't you?" "How do you know I'm a saleswoman in a shop?" Imani asked, surprised. "And why do you keep calling me your wife?" "Listen, Imani, at first, I married you to deceive my parents and send them photos whenever they asked. But now, I think it's time to tell you that things have changed. You mean a lot more to me now. I think I've fallen in love with you, Imani. If you want to work, I won't stop you anymore, since you really want to. But this time, you'll work with me in my department, or rather, our department if you prefer." Imani was surprised. "I admit, I don't know how to respond. I wasn't at all prepared for what you just said." "Come on, let's go shopping," he suggested. "I'm very tired today and don't feel like going out," she replied. "Okay, no problem. Tomorrow then." Imani was overjoyed. How can I believe that a man as closed off as him could fall in love with me so quickly? And to think that I love him too. I'll make him work for it first to see how persistent he'll be. And then we'll see. The next day, as agreed, Newton took her to the mall for shopping and to get her hair done. He had become so attentive and caring that Imani wondered if he was really the man she had known when she first arrived at his house. After shopping, they went to a restaurant in the city for a romantic dinner planned by Newton. While they were talking, and when she least expected it, Newton knelt before her, pulled a ring from his pocket and asked, "Will you be my wife, Imani?" There were many people watching them. Imani didn't want to give him an answer right away, but she also didn't want to humiliate him in front of so many people. Besides, she loved him too. She decided to take the plunge. "Will you love and cherish me as your husband?" he added to fill the awkward silence. "Well, stand up," she replied, taking his hand. She kissed him to the applause of everyone present. Everyone clapped, and you could see the envy in the eyes of the girls there, wishing they were in Imani's place. Once back home, Imani teased him by saying she'd sleep downstairs. "You're going to sleep downstairs? Fine, good night then. Don't talk to me tomorrow either. Now you can leave. I want to sleep." Imani sat on the bed behind him and with a teasing tone said, "Oh, my handsome husband is mad. You're handsome even when you're angry. I love you, my dear. Sleep well." At those words, he stood up abruptly. "Please, repeat what you just said." "I thought you were already asleep," she teased. "You're not sleeping anymore?" "Please repeat what you said," Newton almost begged. "I said I love you, my adorable husband." Newton was overjoyed. He took her in his arms, showered her with kisses, and they kissed. That night was different. They slept together, but this time as true lovers. The next day, they both got ready, and Newton took her to his workplace. Once inside, she exclaimed, "Wow, it's so beautiful here. This place is magnificent. Is this your company?" Or do you just work here?" She couldn't believe it. She had never seen anything so grand and beautiful. Newton told her it was his company, and that from now on, she'd work there too. Teasingly, he added, "You'll be my employee, but I won't pay you." Imani laughed. "I prefer that to staying home every day doing nothing. Plus, working with you will let me admire you all the time. You'll work here, but I'll be on the other side so we can focus better." He introduced her to the company staff and showed her around, explaining everything she needed to know about her new job. Once the tour was over, they returned home. At home, Newton's mother called. "I'm very angry with you, Imani. You don't want to give me grandchildren, so you lied to me?" "Good evening, Mom," Imani replied. "When will you come visit us?" "Not until you give me grandchildren," she answered. "Mom, it's your son. He's the one who doesn't want children yet. He doesn't want to touch me. Put him on the phone. I have a few words for him." Newton quickly replied, "No, Mom. I'm ready to have as many children as you want." Confused, she said, "Since you can't decide, I'm giving you 1 year to present me with a grandson or granddaughter. In 1 year, your father and I will come visit to see our grandchild." "Consider it done, Mom," Newton replied. They wished each other good night and ended the call. Suddenly he asked her, "Why did you tell Mom I don't touch you?" "I just said what's true," she replied. "Have you ever touched me? Or were you waiting for me to make the first move? You could have told me if you wanted to. I didn't want to pressure you or do something you didn't want. But if you want, why not start our first child tonight?" "Okay, but you'll have to catch me first," she replied. She started running, prompting Newton to chase her. That night, they shared their first intimate moment. 2 weeks later, they went to Imani's village, and with the help of a lawyer hired by Newton, Imani reclaimed her father's house and all the possessions her uncle and aunt had stolen from her. All the villagers admired Imani. She was radiant, having become a very beautiful and well-groomed woman. Newton and Imani lived happily, and a few months later, Imani discovered she was pregnant. She gave birth to a little boy, and her mother-in-law and father-in-law came to visit as planned. They were overjoyed. Imani's uncle and aunt had planned to ruin her life, forcing her to marry a man she didn't know. But things turned in her favor because she had a pure and innocent heart. Newton, a wealthy and respectable man, ended up marrying a village girl, proving that life always holds surprises. Love is a strong and beautiful feeling. Always stay true to yourself, and let your detractors and enemies fall into the traps they set for you. Say amen in the comments if you believe it.